Hey guys, welcome to the Choices Talk Show. I'm Anirban Day, and today I'm going to be doing something really special. And that is basically, I'm going to break down some books and you know, I'm going to reveal my top 10 list books to release this year in Choices. So now I was thinking that I could do this like in terms of genre, but then I thought like there are not enough genres available. Maybe we could do this at some point with all the books that are there in the choices. That's gonna be a big video, but we will do it later. But for now, the year is ending, so I'm gonna show you my list. Now, one caveat is that I am not including books that released last year and continued to the early this year, and I'm not going to include books that are going to release at the end of this year, as for like Old Pride or Foreign Affairs, so the books that would go to the next year. So so this list is for the books that released in at the end of January to start of the Novembers. So on the top of my list there is Blades of Light and Shadow. Now, well, why it's top? It's top for many reasons, but definitely for the first thing, that is, it's the gender locked and non VIP book that is just not about the romance rom com, because the choices lately has become a place of those things. But and it replaced Amy, so it's sort of like for like match replacement, because Amy was really famous and Blades of Light and Shadow. So people like this book because it has the adventure. It has you get like different kind of, like, it's ancient the story. So like you get to play as elf, human, orc. So that's a really diverse this story. And I really like this storyline, to be honest. And I know a lot of people playing choices, they like this Blades of Light and Shadow. And they are super crazy about it, and they're waiting like when this book is going to release. And I think Blades of Light and Shadow, it is so famous that people, they have to, like, they were asking so many questions that Choices Pixelberry they took all the questions from the audience, and then the creators, they answered the questions, and they made a video out of it, and they published 2 or 3 months ago. So it was really famous, Blades of Light and Shadow. So anything that to come out of this year is any positive, if you talk about, you're definitely gonna have to talk about Bolus, Blades of Light and Shadow. And the storyline was super awesome, like the way it developed all the concept of darkness and how to purify. And in terms of like the developments of all the characters, like Nia's character we've gotten to know her, and it's sort of it was Nia centered. So, and I hope that the next book would be would focus on other characters like Mel and the elf boy, Tyrell, I think that's how I pronounce his name. But anyway, so, or the orc. So it is just awesome, but like, it's really super awesome. Like, even in this book, though it's sort of it seemed like a Nia's book, but we gotten to witness like the maturity of Mal and his character and other characters, Tyrell's character. So we like the development. Like, nothing felt like incomplete. So it was super success, like 100 out of 100. You can just, doesn't matter in what genre you are putting it would tick all the options, all the boxes it's gonna check. So my book 2 is simply Distant Shores. Now, a lot of you guys would be asking me, like, it was a great book, but it's not like complete, or it's sort of rushed. It was at the end. But still, I would like to tell you, like, yeah, definitely. But while I played it, definitely, I still hope, like, when my love interest was Charlie, so I know about her, like, we know, like, she's gonna meet her mother, whom she lost a long time ago when she was a child. So how those things went, a backstory on that. So we could have been informed about that. The book at least deserved 5 or 6 more chapters, like Nanny Affair or like Across the Void, if not another book. So that's one regret. But overall, if you see, like this whole concept of going back in the time in the pirate ship, and this is whole mutiny, and then there's two crews, and like there's this sort of dark romance with Oliver and your pirate captain. There is Charlie. So this is all in all, I would say it was successful. And this, you know, the admiral of British Navy. So that general, he is an antagonist character. How we take him down. So and overall, why I placed it at number two. I don't know about you guys, but when I played this, the end chapter specifically, it was really, you can say it was vague, but it was not, really, it was meaningful, I guess. Like when at the moment we are in the museum, in the future, and the curator is telling us the stories, it was like, wow, like awesome, like something's really like, it was a poetic in sort of way. And it's really like, if you have seen good films, good series, like the ending, it was, you can sort of resemble that book with those. But I personally found the ending so awesome, and throughout the story, and some awesome characters, the pirate captain Charlie. So I would rank it at number two. Now let's move on to number three. So I would say for number three, With Every Heartbeat. Now, of course, I know like VIP book, a lot of you didn't get to play it, but like sort of the way it developed, very quickly to say, like we see like this year specifically with a lot of books, like first chapter hookup scenes, this sort of sexual bonding. I'm not against it, but this book showed like if you don't get too much hookup scenes, but if you get sort of the mental connection, like Dakota Winchester and our main character, the mental connection we see from chapter by chapter. So when at the end chapters, when you see him dying or her dying at the end moment, we really break down. So it's hurting for both of, like all of us, like every reader. So it worked so well in that part that I cannot explain. So I would give this book that. And really, like if you guys have watched the movies like Five Feet Apart, or Fault in Our Stars, then like this book is sort of like it would remind you of those movies. So you're gonna need a lot of tissue paper. So just because that, I'm not putting it at number three, but for a lot of reasons, like it really worked well to build up the chemistry and stuff like that. Now at number four, well, like Open Heart 2 for me. Now, why at number two, four Open Heart 2? Now, this Open Heart book 2, I think it could have gone to number 2 or number 3, but it went on HEIRESS, twice, I guess, and very long HEIRESS, So that's why I think first time I forgot what I was reading, second time I also forgot, but third time when it came out after the second HEIRESS, I think things started building up. I think they needed time and everything was all right, but sort of, but everything happened. It's a top class book. Like when it came back after the second HEIRESS for the third time, everything was so awesome. Like every chapter, a lot of thing was going on. Like you normally don't see, like with the book in choices in a single chapter. It's just one thing goes on, but it is like it was a multi-dimensional things going on. Like you were solving sort of Smith's problem. You're busy with Senator. Then you have you have to worry about Rafael. You have to worry about other your friends. There's something going on with this. So a lot of thing was going on, and I'm not against it, but I really liked it. Like eventful. In one word, every chapter was so eventful, and it ended that way. And it's gonna have a third book, so that's so awesome. So I'm looking forward to it. So that's why it's fourth. And Open Heart 2 is just awesome, and all the characters, the crew of Edenbrook, it's just so awesome. And at number five, well, there was this debate like what book should deserve number five, like the rom coms of this year, the famous rom coms Queen Bee and the Nanny Affair. So I was debating it. So I pushed Queen Bee to number six, and I pushed up the Nanny Affair at number five. Now I would need to know your opinion, but why I think that the Nanny Affair deserves the number five, I think like I'm not comparing with Queen Bee, but what stands out to me as of Nanny Affair is that the sort of relation. I talked about Dakota Winchester and our main character's relationship in With Every Heartbeat. So now in this book we do have like this sexual connection, but with that also the mental connection, like how we bond with, you know, our main character bonds with Sam, the CEO of Dalton Enterprise, and also how to bond with the little kids, and every beat by beat they just, it was awesome. Like we got those moments. So at one point it was so special to get those moments with Sam, and I never felt this crazy to have a moment with our love interest since with Jen. If you remember Jen from, you know, America's Most Eligible, or Mackenzie Adam, that was the series like that was really like I used to look for the dimensions because that was really awesome. And with Sam, so that's the same connection, and to build like how this, so this we go to Italy, then the, you know, stories a lot of part at the end it takes place in Italy. Like it was perfect development, you know, with the kids, the perfect balance, you know, in a lot of books or in a lot of movies you would see like the balance between you, like with the kids and with the person you're dating. It's not good, but this book, you know, it's the great example like how to, you know, sort of present this story. So I would like to say like this book is a jewel, you know, this is a precious jewel if you really want to talk about it. So now number 6 is Queen Bee, as I'm saying, because, you know, Queen Bee is Queen Bee. Like it's been really famous. Like this, those, you know, like you get to trash talk, you get to put someone down, you get to have a get back at Poppy. It has a lot of hookup scenes and a lot of, you know, moments, intimate moment with the love, and people liked Zoe. With the professor you get to have those intimate moments. So it's sort of like the rom-com like Queen Bee, but it's you know, it's really great to be honest. Like, and it also getting a second book that's going to come out next year. But what I would like to say is that, you know, Queen Bee is super awesome. You know, like the way it built the mystery. Again, if America's Most Eligible you're gonna talk about, so just like America's Most Eligible, this book is like you get a lot of games and to power up your ranking and to make allies. You remember the posse, so you get to add people to your posse and stuff like that. So that's super awesome. Like this, like a reality game, though it's not. It's like in a college you are fighting for the top spot for the crown. So whole concept and awesome characters like Zoe and the chemistry between our professors. But I always found it hard, like, you know, sort of like why there would be like the same link. Like I'm gonna talk about mismatch too, like they worked. And also Witness, I'm not going to talk about here, but because that didn't make my top 10 list. But you know, like in Witness, Nanny Affair and Mismatch, and also in Queen Bee, how our main character and love interest, main love interest like Sam, Professor, Witness's love interest, and Jack or Jake from Mismatch, like we have some, you know, it's a forbidden romance. Like we can't go grow closer too much, but you know we have tension between us. But whenever, you know, like there's a sexual tension or there's a make out time, like, you know, they give in. Like it's sort of like the similarity I found out. It's anyway. So that's it. So now the seventh book I would like to say it's Rising Tide. So it has released 2 months ago, I guess, in the month of October, and it's awesome. Like it's a first initiative from choices or from any book in the mobile green jam, green jam. Excuse me. So I think it's really an awesome book. Like it's a great initiative. I've talked about it before also. Like how people can really love nature and they can do their part in everyday life if they get inspired from this book. Like they can't have zombie apocalypse or alien attacking apocalypse, but they do have this, you know, environmental crisis, and this is an apocalypse, and we can do our part. We can be heroes. So to ingrain that thought in, you know, the reader's mind, I think this is doing a great job. And now, if you are caught up with the recent chapters, like how this Warner is becoming an antagonist characters, stuff are going on. I hope it's gonna be super fun. All right, so let's go to the eighth one. So our eighth one is the Unexpected Heiress, which is a VIP book and gender locked. So now, as it is a VIP book, now the Unexpected Heiress is in terms of suspension and suspense. If you talk about suspense, it is top class book. But why it is so down in my ranking? Because first place it is gender locked, but that's okay. Storyline is super cool, but in the second place it is VIP. So I think that's why it's down in the ranking because a lot of people can't play it because it is gender, VIP. So that's why I pushed it down to 8. But if you have VIP, then you may consider to push it up for its genre, it's gonna be top book because we didn't have that much mystery book this year, and adventure yes, but suspense and the detective sort of book. So the Unexpected Heiress is my number 8. If you guys have played it, like it's a murder mystery and the suspense of a murder and to catch a killer. So till the last moment, you don't know like who is the killer. You guess the wrong person, and then finally, sort of the veil of secret. It's like that, and I really like this book. Alright, so our last two books. Now, at number 9, I would pick up Mismatch. Again, Mismatch is again the rom com in the same genre as the Nanny Affair and Queen Bee, but it's so down because we're just reading it, but it's definitely a number 9 material out of all those books that have been released in this year of 2020. So those books have been released in this year 2020, and a lot of books, like I'm not naming them because they're not to me top 10 material, but Mismatch, it has the material and it is developing well. Quite Jake or Jack, the romance, again the forbidden romance, the dark romance sort of concept. Competitor, you have tension, but when those diamond sense come around, you give in. Your love interest gives in. So I really like this. I'm liking this, or I don't know if choice is making me like this. I don't know, but Mismatch, it definitely deserves a 9th spot. So lastly, I did this like 10 spots, so I had to just insert one book. So it is going to be for me My Two First Love, MTFL. So as to why, like a lot of people would be saying like it's annoying book, it's a really long book, probably Twilight or the Vampire's Diary, I think. So if you're thinking that's all right, but My Two First Love, well, I know it's too long, but it's a new sort of book. Like every day it released first place, and then second place, like the way it is written, like the main character is telling. So again, I'm saying that I think like our main character right now is married to one and is settled. Now she's telling you the story of the past, so we're gonna see it. So the way it is written in the first person, I really like this kind of story. So that's why I think I like My Do First Love, and I inserted it at number 10. And also some of the characters, our main characters, love interest, Noah, Ava, Mason, the boy next door. I like them super, and the music is cool, and we've gotten to know them for so long, and the development of their character. I would give them that. Like, it's really super awesome, and really, like, it's just awesome a feeling. Like, it could be annoying, like how it's about love, like we're just going back and forth between two boys, and now there's a new addition. Like, I don't know, like I don't know if there is a meme out, like others are saying, why just 3, why not like many more? But by all means, I think it's a great book. And also our main character's father's development, his character's development, how he was like very annoying, grumpy, but from being grumpy to being understanding, supportive, and so all this thing. And our main character's mom, who's long dead but still with us at some in various ways, and her influence, and not only on our family but also on our boy next door Mason's family. There was a lot of difference when she was around, and so I think it's a really great book, My Two First Love. Now I'm just waiting how they're gonna wrap it up. I don't think that I don't want this book to go for any longer, because it's just annoying and irritating if it goes long. But I'm not gonna complain it, because right now I'm hooked up to this book, and if they want to take, I am so down to go wherever they want me to take. So that's it, guys, my top 10 book. So let me know if you agree with this list, or if you think that I did some mistake, maybe some books don't deserve the ranking I give them, or some books deserve better. Do you think like you have a different list in your mind in terms of what are gonna be your top 10 books to be released this year? So I think that has released this year, top sort of. So I think we can agree on the first book, Blades of Light and Shadow, can't we? But yeah, by all means, let me know in the comment section, like, what do you guys think? Like, what are your top 10 books that have been released by Pixelberry this year? And I would be really glad to hear your part. And do you agree with this ranking? Do you have anything? Just tell me. And thank you for listening. I know it's a long video. I apologize for that, but it's for this. Like, I had to make it. Like, this is my tribute to 2020. This is long. It is well over 20 minutes, but I'm really sorry. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have watched this far, I know it's annoying, like my do first love, it went on and on, but I hope like you enjoyed the rankings and you have commented with your own ranking, and let's discuss in the comment section. Thank you, have a nice day or night depending on wherever you are, and doesn't matter how this year was for you, I hope the new year would be a way better, and if not the best of all for you guys and for me. And also, I hope that we're going to read a lot of great books and choices. Thank you guys. Stay safe. Bye.